Hello, guys, and welcome to a Valor Legends Eternity little video I thought I'll do. I started playing the game about a month and a half ago, and I thought I'll do a quick video to run through some of the aspects of the game. If you are new to the game, this should be quite useful to sort of get an understanding of things that you may unlock as you go through the campaign and do any other sort of quests that they provide. However, if you're really sort of already on your fourth week or something, or if you've been playing for a year, to be fair, it's not going to be that useful. The only thing is going to be it's just another video for the game because there's not too many. There's a couple sort of gem discussions and sort of general overviews, but the downside of those videos is that they're pretty much just downloading the game, playing it for half an hour, and calling it sort of the first impressions and discussing what the game is from there, which to be fair is just sort of reading a blurb of a book and then saying this is what the book is. It's like you don't really know what happens and sort of any twists or whatever maybe. So I'll start with the mainland. And just actually before I begin, it's an idle game. It's a gacha. It has a summoning system. You get your heroes and you progress through the story to unlock other aspects of the game. This here, the mainland page, is basically your management area. So you've got your soul altar, which allows you to roll back your heroes, so you bring them back down to level 1 if you've leveled someone that you don't want to have leveled, and allows you to also reset their stars. However, it does cost gems, and the higher they are, the more it does cost. So that's sort of the very basic, I messed up, let me fix what was wrong sort of system. Then you have your pity system, which is your holy fountain of life. As you do summons, as you do events, you end up basically putting your seeds of life into this and allows you to eventually claim the hero of your choice for that faction. There's one for every faction, although the dark and the light one is mixed together. So that's that pity system. I'm gonna rush this pretty quick, FYI, just because there's a lot to discuss. I actually did start the video earlier, just try to record, and I stopped. But even that was 9 minutes, and I had just gone through the mainland page only. So, for the sake of trying to make this watchable without it feeling like a movie, I'll try to go fairly quick if possible. So then you have your blessing system, which is something that's quite nice. So when you have your top 5 heroes, and you can insert here your other heroes, which will be powered up to the lowest level um, in this blessing temple. So it means you don't have to level up more than 5. So which is good. But at the same time, if there's like a hero that's stuck because you haven't got the materials, you may be for a little while unable to progress this until you can get the copies. So don't sort of waste too much of any hero if you don't like them and you just want to get rid of them. Do consider the fact that eventually you may need them to be able to even get further in this aspect of the game. Then you have your magic store, which is just a variety of stores based on events and based on sort of different parts of the game, like the arena and so on. Usually you won't be buying too much of this stuff because it's sort of overpriced. Like this piece of gear here is 8,000. Usually the events will provide what you need. This is sort of the any 3 stars you get, the game just automatically deletes for you. You get this currency, and you can spend it to actually get a 5 star. Then you've got your arena store, which is basically you just get your copies of heroes, and this refreshes once a month, so you can pick up 2 of these. So as you may have noticed with the pity and the event stuff, is you will eventually get the copies you need for your hero, but it may just take you time. So you can obviously summon, get it through the RNG system. However, you're not going to guarantee. You will eventually hit the heroes that you need. Just through playing. However, obviously good RNG will allow you to get even further. Then you've got your Arcane Forge, which is your runes. This is a system that allows you to basically give these buffs to the heroes based on, rather than them just being innately built into the hero, you can give them a power up, which is just maybe sort of debuffing or buffing your heroes, or providing them extra crit rate, which otherwise you wouldn't have maybe if the hero doesn't have any built into their kit. Then you've got your Portal of Prey here, which is essentially you get a bunch of these coins as you progress, is usually from the bounties and even events, which allows you to sort of just spin a wheel, get some of these rewards. These are super rare to find. I've only had a handful. I had 1 from the advanced spray, and I've had probably like 2 from this one after doing this countless and countless times. So don't rely on getting this hero when you do this. And then you have your archive, which is basically your gacha, collect them all, insert them into the book, and get some basic power-ups. So that sort of runs through the very basic sort of mainland features, and then you have your guild, which basically you have this prey aspect, which you get the currency with gems and then for free as well per day. Then you have your guild dungeon, which you as a team sort of progress to try get to the end, and this is where you get your experience for guild level ups, and then you got your guild tech as well, which allows you to spend that currency to power up the specific type of hero. So in this case, I'm more focused towards assassins, although I only have one at the moment. I used to have two, so it may be a mistake at that point to not run two assassins, but it's fine. I'll with time I'll fix it all and sort of eventually maybe it'll tidy up a bit more. And then you have your guild war, which is essentially the sort of battle against other guilds. Although generally, if you're new to the game, this aspect of the game is very I will say it here, it's actually poorly done in my opinion, because if you're new to the game, you basically never get to participate on a level playing field. Usually, either the enemy guild is inactive, or they completely destroy you. They'll just lock you off of making any points. So you can get lucky in terms of your matchmaking to just sort of progress still be second, for example, here, where their matchmaking is a lot better, because I know for sure that we are a better guild in terms of power, but uh, we just we just can't. We just have been getting such bad luck in the matchmaking that we've sort of just slumped down. Anyway, doesn't matter about my guild, doesn't matter about our experience in that. As a matchmaking system, but we'll carry on now. So now you have your wildfield, which is essentially your daily activities, and this is where you'll spend a small amount of your time going through the game every reset, essentially. So you got your mysterious realms, which just allows you to get the resources that you require. This is something where, if you're going to do gem refreshes, you want to spend it on some realm challenges. It's 50 each time, so just go ahead and then do this one for the experience, because you really need it. Otherwise, the rest of them are a bit like I haven't even bothered with this one. Like the currency amount you get is just so bad. So I can't be bothered. And even with this, like, yeah, sure, you can get some gears, but it's just a 1-star orange gear, which anyway. I'm blabbering on about some of the downsides I find, but to be fair, I do want to stress some of those. Then you have your every 3-day activities. You got your magic expedition, which is just you use the team, and any damage they take sort of persists into the next stage, and that goes to 100 stages. Once you complete it, you get the event shop, which allows you to sort of buy things at a discount, and you have your abyss battlefield, which is basically a big boss where you have have an amount of time to try and kill it. If you do kill it, which I mean you can't kill it, but the more damage you do, the higher you are in the ranking, and that's that aspect. Then you have your Realms of Tales, which essentially are these small campaigns which give you some decent rewards. There's only 4 of them, so once you do complete them, you won't be returning to this too much, because initially, as you're progressing and you're getting stronger every couple of days, you have big power spikes. You will be progressing through this rather quickly. However, at this point, the enemy team's like 2.5 million on my end, so it's going to take some crazy strategy and some crazy upgrades for me to complete this anytime soon. So this sort of aspect of the game will eventually just disappear. The game will ask you to do this for a weekly thing, to just jump in here and attempt it. However, it's just eventually it's no longer part of the game. So that's sort of a thing with it, is like these things you'll come onto, and you challenge people, but this aspect of the game is not something I do too often, because the rewards are not that crazy. So if you're ranked between 10th and 30th, 280, and you get 300 if you're 6th to 10th. So there's no point really. As long as you just jump to a decent rank, you're good. This one's the one that you do get rewards for, so you get more points per hour the higher you're ranked. Currently I'm 7th here, and these rewards are quite nice. You have a store for this one too, so do not forget to spend and pick up your 50% off seeds. I'm trying to go quick, but I'm going to run out of breath. And lastly, you have your endless trial, which is your every just non-stop basically until level 1,000. You just keep progressing through this, and you're trying to get as far as possible, getting rewards each time. The rewards are pretty good, and this gives you gems and as well as hero, basically a random 5-star hero. which is good. And then you have your specific faction ones, which I don't know at what point you unlock it. I can't remember, but it's quite a bit into the game. It's a couple of weeks at least, and you essentially challenge this and attempt to go further. And these ones are specific to leveling up your heroes and getting ones for the specific faction. And you can only use the heroes from that faction as well as the light and dark ones, because obviously, as you may notice, there isn't a light and dark one here. Um, all right, and actually going back to this, I didn't really cover the summoning. So the summoning is your standard single and times 10 summon. You also have your friendship summons, which I know it's quite common in games to have them, but I think the odds between the two of them are the same. So this is just 3 extra chances to summon per day, which is not too bad. But once you do 100 summons, you get your seeds, which allow you to go to that pity system I mentioned before, as well as you get your wish list, which you unlock when you get your first 11 star, and I think you reach like 22 or 23 in the campaign. And which basically starts with 1 out of 1, then it's 2 out of 2, and then eventually 3 out of 3, and I don't know what happens after, but you get to guarantee the next legendary summon is going to be that hero. So there's a couple aspects I've mentioned which basically, when combined together, will eventually allow you to get exactly what you need really. You get to get the hero up that you desire. You just take some time, and obviously RNG does play a big part. If you manage to hit those units and get them through just normal summons, it'll be much faster. But if you like a certain hero and you just can never find them, if you want to commit to trying to get them, you can just go ahead and spend your time, and eventually you'll get that hero. So I didn't get too many free copies of Terrence, but I claimed it from events and stuff like that. I managed to get him to be 11 star. Like, I've got enough to get Margaret up now. I'm 1 away from Lionel. I don't have any extra Grigors. I think none or one. It's very limited. Anyway, but you can eventually get them up, which is an aspect that I like. It means that if you play the game and you progress, you will get there. So, also, as mentioned before, it's an idle game. Obviously, there's a time skip feature. I think every idle game has a time skip feature, is where you just throw in your currency and hopefully you get what you need. But after a certain amount of time, you just claim your rewards and you get some experience, and bounties are here, which you saw the tickets just earlier. You get quite decent rewards on this. I don't have anything crazy ongoing, but as you can see, some coins, some hero 4 stars, and some ones to try and get a 5 star. Um, what else to mention in this? I mean, idle is just you unlock stuff as you progress. So when you begin, just try to get as far as you can, and eventually when it slows down and you're doing only a couple of levels a week at most, or even you're stuck for a couple of months on a level, this aspect will also be sort of left behind. So there's a certain thing of where in the beginning, for the first maybe week or so, you're progressing quite a lot, so it may feel a little overwhelming, because it feels like you get so much power that you can actually just keep on progressing through the story until I mean, I say story, there's not really a story. The realms is probably the only place where there's any story aspects, but when you're progressing through this, you will eventually hit a point where you can't really go any further. As I'll demonstrate here, this is a very dumb setup, but I've tried multiple ones. But as you can see here, this is something I have to face to progress to the next stage. But despite trying this multiple times, I haven't been able to get through it. As you can see, my characters are just burning apart. She does crazy AoE, the Diana, and because of the shields and stuns and silences, I'm just sort of stuck. And every hero is still alive on their end, so until I get some power-ups, that's an aspect I'm stuck on. And the main sort of weekly and monthly progression system for like getting stuff is not too bad actually. So you have your weeklies, you've got your, I think this one is a week as well. Yeah, it's a week. Yeah, sorry. Then your daily sign-ins, which the rewards are quite bad, to be fair. I'll be honest, they should probably buff these up, especially if you like reach the end, you don't get anything special. Day 30 is just 100 gems. So you got the longer term ones. It's been half a month with this one. I'm about to finish this one to get some seeds, and as you can see, there's summons and seeds available. From the game, and then this, I think it ends at like 200 points. Yeah, and I'm at 600, and there's still 15 days left. This one should probably be adjusted to allow you to get some more rewards, especially because it's a whole month. But it's not too bad. I'll say the events keep the game interesting, gives you stuff to do and things to sort of claim as you go, and you will feel like you get a lot of stuff. I feel like every couple of days you finish another step in an event, which is really nice. Yeah, anyway, I'll move on now to heroes. So as you may have guessed through some of the early aspects of the game when I was revealing the Endless Tower and so on, there are 5 different factions. So you've got the very base factions, which is basically Forest, Legion, and your Undead, but as well as your Shadow and Light. These are tend to be the stronger heroes. I haven't not gotten a single legendary of these. I know people have. I've just not been lucky. Although I've not been putting C's into the LS tower, so I'm not too sure. But you know, you'll be getting these heroes, and if you focus on one in the tower, you'll realize you get a lot more copies of them. So as you can see, I already have 3 powered up units from for example, Forest. But then I've got less from the Undead, and then about a little more than the Undead in the Legion. So your focus on the tower is sort of the one faction that would probably have the most powerful units that you have. You probably want to focus on that. But there's generally, if you see these little gems, that's a legendary, and that unit is something you can put time into and power them up. But there's also the ones without the gems, which is basically your food. There's only a couple heroes that are epic, which is the 5-star without the diamond, that are worth putting time into. But generally, at some point, you'll just be food. But early game, you just get any 5-star you get and just power them up, and eventually you either feed them into the hero that you actually want to take over and be powerful. But in the beginning, doesn't really matter. There's also the power of the factions, the base ones. They all have strong heroes. It's not a fact of like you need to have all undead or anything like that. I would actually recommend spreading it of maybe 2-2-1 or some sort of thing like that. I wouldn't go the way I have until later, where you have like 3-1-1. So 1-1 and then 3. But obviously, if you focus on one tower for the siege, you'll get a lot more food for that, for those heroes. So it sort of evens out. And then you have your artifacts, which you unlock through the realms, and generally these are just sort of power-ups and have an effect within the match. Not going to cover this too much. I would just say that the hammer is probably the best one here. There's the axe, which is not bad either. But generally, when you get to the stage where you're deciding these and resetting them and picking up the one that you want, you'll more than enough know which one you prefer. Right. I think that sort of covers it. I think that covers the majority of the game's functions, some of the base stuff running through it. I can't cover it all, I think. I can't cover it all. I can't tell you what to do for every aspect of the game. I just thought I'll do a quick rundown, sort of touching on exactly what things are, what to look forward to, what things you unlock in the future. Because obviously when you first begin, there's only a few little things that you can do, but as you get further and further, more and more things unlock, and you'll have a pretty busy first 3 weeks of things just opening up for you. Things may be gated at like campaign 15, which everyone will get to really easily because just the base heroes can get quite far. But eventually, more and more will come, and you'll be quite busy. I don't even think I've unlocked everything yet. I'm not sure. I think so, but you never know. Something may just come up. Like I guess the next thing will just be the wish list getting up to the next level. But other than that, that's probably everything in the game that's available. Now is just sort of getting your hero stronger and compete in PvP, and just generally for your own sake of trying to go up to the leaderboards. So like, you can sort of compare yourself to others and be like, how far can I get? So if I get one more or 2 more, I get above Dushan. If I get a couple more, I get above another person, and it's all our guild anyway. So someone apart from this one person, it's where we are. Need to get P-Dog over. Don't know what the Hyperion PH is, but I've not seen them too many times, so maybe they'll join. But yeah, give a little shout out. Anyway, just before I go, we'll just give a little shout out to Apans, as well as my guild, as well as Junior. There's a couple other people, but I'm not going to be listing this like I'm receiving some sort of Emmy. Probably most of the people watch this video will end up being the people that are played for a while, just to see what the hell the content is, because it's been months since other ones been made. But I'll leave this video with also saying, if this video gets some interest, if you guys would like to watch it, if new players sort of give it a view and decide, you know what, I do want more elaboration, I will gladly make videos on specific sort of factions or the tier list or the powers, sort of my main overview and how well each hero does. I'm ready to do something like that. Discuss the artifacts in a bit more detail, um, as well as tips, the gem sort of spending guides. There's some out there, but obviously from someone who's played for a lot longer than they have in those videos, it may be a bit more beneficial. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say aside from that. So do let me know if you are interested in some more content for the game. It's been a while since I've posted videos generally, and since I've been playing this for a while, and it's been a month and a half, and I have some minor understanding, I can at least deliver that content for this. But there's people that have played for a lot longer, so you know, you guys can tell me what I should maybe cover and advise me on anything that I may have gotten wrong. But either way, I'm gonna end it here. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully it was useful. I went maybe a bit too fast, but trying to cover everything is just not feasible without basically doing a movie on it. So anyway, take care. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned, I guess.